Hello, everybody. Now we are dealing with Close Up Unit 11. Open your book, Close Up Unit 11, page 136. As usual, we are going to have a look first at the title, as the title tells us something about the unit. Wish you were here. Wish you were here. Okay, what words come to your mind first once you hear this word, wish you were here? What are the words related to wish? Yes, wish. If only, it's the same. If only or wish. Desire, want so much. Hope, expect, and regret. Okay, let's guess. What do you think this unit is about? Wish you were here. Wish you were here. In order to guess, in order to have an idea about the unit, have a look here as the picture, a family with bags. What do you think they will do? Maybe they are traveling, you are going somewhere because of the bags. Yes. So maybe it's about a trip. Yes. Do you remember when we dealt with skimming and scanning? As we said, skimming just to know or to have a general idea about what the unit is about. And to skim, we can do it by reading the title and the questions. And of course, the picture here told us something about it. Okay, let's practice skimming here. Have a look at the title, Wish You Were Here. Read the first question, question A and B. Look at the list of potential problems when you are traveling. So here it is about problems that might face somebody while he is traveling. Yes. Of course, any of these can happen to anyone while traveling. Question B. Quickly read the story. What happened to the writer? Choose from the list in A. So here, the writer is traveling and something happened to him, right? Okay, very good. Let's have a look at these questions. What is the best souvenir to bring home? Of course, some people prefer to buy things from the country they visited just to remind them of this place. But others think that stories they bring home is the best souvenir. Okay. Number 2. Where do you think the writer is going? Up to now, exactly we don't know, but he is traveling somewhere, maybe to America, maybe to Europe, to a country in Europe, we are not sure yet. How does the writer feel? Of course, when people travel, they have different feelings. Maybe the writer was excited, maybe he was anxious, maybe a little bit worried, we don't know yet. If you have a look at the following slide, you will have the answers for these 3 questions. What the best souvenir to bring home? Where do you think the writer is going? How does the writer feel? Yes, here. A wise person once said that the best souvenirs are the stories you bring home. And here is the question number 1. So what the best souvenir to bring home? The best souvenirs are stories you bring home with you. What about the destination? The writer's destination. My destination was Italy. So the writer was going to Italy. How does the writer feel? Of course, felt excited. Why? Because it was his first traveling solo. What does it mean, traveling solo? It means traveling alone by yourself. Now you got an idea about the whole text. The writer is traveling to Italy. It was the writer's first solo traveling. And the writer, by the way, she was a female. So she was extremely excited as it was her first overseas trip. Okay, once we have finished the pre-reading, scanning. You remember scanning? just looking or searching for specific information. And I think you will need to write down these questions because we're not going to go back to them. How did the fellow passengers look? Of course, while traveling, people do not feel the same. Maybe some are excited, others are chatting or boring or anxious. Of course, it differs. But we are going to see here. Who was the man sitting next to the writer, and what useful information did he tell her? Number 3, why did panic grip the writer after landing? The writer became extremely afraid that she lost control over her feelings and started crying a lot or sobbing. How did the writer find the lost wallet? Oh, here you can understand the problem. The writer lost her wallet while traveling. Yes, that's why maybe she was crying. Why was the writer shocked after losing the wallet? She was shocked. We don't know why. The last question, what lesson did the writer learn? Of course, the first question in the pre-reading, it was, what is the best souvenir to bring home? And maybe here, what's the lesson that you can learn from traveling? Let's have a look at the text and try to find answers to these questions. Do you remember question number 1? Yes, what was it? How did the fellow passengers look? Yes, we are going to search for the information we need here. Yes, my fellow passengers. Some looked distressed. Distressed means anxious. Some looked anxious and were biting their nails. Okay. Others were chatting. Okay. Others looked Italian, or others had already nodded off, means slept. They were sleeping. So as we said, people do not feel the same. So this is question number 1 in the scanning. We'll move on. Yes, here question number 2, if you remember, who was the man sitting next to the writer? Look here about the man sitting next to the writer. Yes. Yeah, this man said that his name was Giancarlo. I said he said, because we are not sure even it was right or not. And he said this in an Italian accent to let the writer understand that he was Italian. And he said that he was a retired police officer. I didn't say he was a police officer. He said that he was a police officer, but we are not sure if it is right or not. Okay, what useful information did this man tell the writer? Can you find it here? I can't find it. It's not here, so we'll move to the second text. What useful information? Here it is. He gave me tips. It means useful information or advice. He gave me tips on where to eat and what to see. Where to eat and what to see. This is the useful piece of information that he gave the writer. Question number 3, why did panic grip the writer after landing? Yes, we should have a look what happened. So here, if you go through it quickly, there was no use looking for it. Looking for what? Oh, my wallet. My wallet. So the writer lost her wallet. After landing, there was no use looking for it. It wasn't there somehow. I had lost it. Panic gripped me. I was penniless. She had no money at all. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to continue her trip, and she didn't know exactly how to go back home. So she started crying, and she lost control over her feelings. People took her to inside the airport, to an employee inside the airport, in order to report that she lost her wallet. How did the writer find the lost wallet? It's question number 4. So here, as I was describing my lost item, the assistant opened a drawer and took out my wallet. I couldn't believe it. There it was, and none of my money was missing. But how? How did this man or assistant get her wallet? Let's have a look here in order to know how they found the wallet. Did someone find it and turn it in? I asked. And that's when I got the biggest shock. So here's the question, why was the writer shocked? She was shocked because the man, Giancarlo, the man who said that he was a retired police officer and that he was Italian, he was not. Number one, he was a thief. And number two, he was not Italian. He was an Englishman from Manchester. And his name was Nigel Waters. So the writer here was shocked when she knew that the man next to her in the plane was a thief and he stole her wallet. What lesson did the writer learn? Of course, never to trust a stranger. Never to trust a stranger. I was here lucky that he hadn't got away with it, and I realized I should never trust a stranger, and this is the lesson that the writer learns. Exam task, the exercises, page 137, choose. And of course, we are going to answer it according to the text. What is the writer's purpose in the first paragraph? Of course, in the first paragraph, the writer just was explaining why she was traveling and that this was her first solo flight and that she was extremely excited. So number 1A. What does the word distressed mean in paragraph 2? Of course, distressed means anxious. Means anxious. So number 2D. Number 3, what does the writer suggest about the sleeping passengers? Look at the choices, A, B, C, and D. What do you think? Yes, very good. They should have shared her enthusiasm. They should be excited like her. She thought that. Yes, number 3A. Number 4, the writer uses the phrase overcome by the problem in paragraph 5 to show that she what? Excellent, very good. She believed her situation was hopeless. She believed she could do nothing. There was nothing she could do. That's why she believed her situation was hopeless. Number 5, what's true about Giancarlo? What is true about this man? He was a liar, right? Yes, he was an accomplished liar. What do we learn about the writer in the final sentence? What do we learn about the writer in the final sentence? Never to trust a stranger. Yes, she learned a valuable lesson in life, which is never to trust a stranger. And of course, here you can find the answers, so you can answer it by yourself and check your answers, okay? And you can give yourself mark, by the way. Okay, exercise A, page 137. Find the meaning of the words in the story, then use the words to complete the sentences below. Number 1, here is a great space for first-time travelers. Here is a great what? Great tip, means advice. A great tip for first time means great advice or piece of advice. And number 2, this space is for domestic flights. For international flights, you need to go to the different part of the airport. So number 2 is terminal. Yes, this terminal. Number 3, the most important space in Istanbul is a Greek Byzantine church. Yes, monument. Number 3, monument. Number 4, I bought this space online, but I could have borrowed it from the library. What can you borrow from the library? Of course, a book. So it is a guidebook. In number 5, When we were just an hour from our space, the car broke down. Yes, an hour from our what? From our destination. From our destination, the car broke down in the middle of the road. The last one, the mountain villages that we visited gave us some, oh, this one is extremely difficult. You know why? Because we have only one word we didn't use, which is insights. And here, of course, you can have all the answers here. Try to answer it yourself and then check your answer and give yourself marks later on. But of course, without listening to my answers. Yes, exercise B and C, page 138. Yes, here. Complete the sentences with these words. I wait for 5 seconds just to give you time to think of the answers, okay? Crew, in-flight, access, compartment, pass, gate. Think of number 1. We bought so many presents on holiday that we had to pay space baggage for the flight home, and it isn't cheap. Excellent, very good, excess. Because on board of a plane, when you have many things, of course you pay more money for it. Your boarding space has your seat number and flight number on it, and without it, they won't let you on the plane. Of course, pass. Your boarding pass has your seat number and flight number on it. Number 3, flight B 341 to Berlin is ready for boarding at departure gates 18. Yes. Number 4, the cabin space served meals, drinks, and snacks during the flight, and were very friendly. Yes, the cabin crew. I stored my day pack and jacket in the overhead, very good compartment above my seat. Number 6, there was a good choice of space entertainment, including films, music, and games. Of course, the last one is always difficult, right? Yes, I know. So, in flight, okay? Of course, in the next slide, you will have all the answers, don't worry. Exercise C completes the sentences with these verbs in the correct form. You are going to choose the verb and then correct the form according to the structure. Number 1, the customs officer asked us if we had anything to what? What? Declare. Anything to declare, or anything to show to them, or to tell them about. Unfortunately, they had to space all planes due to the tornado. They had to ground. To ground all planes, it means to place all the planes on the ground. Our train was spaced and we had to take the next one. Our train was spaced and we had to take the next one. Very good. Was cancelled. Double L and ED. Our train was cancelled and we had to take the next one. Number 4, families with young children space a plane first. Of course, board. They board a plane first. Number 5, the experienced pilot spaced the plane smoothly. Of course, landed the plane smoothly. The last one, as usual, the most difficult one. Jim's flight was spaced by an hour because of the fog. Yes, very good, was delayed. Now, you can have a look at all the answers here. Of course, exercise B and exercise C. Exercise A and B, page 143. Yes, of course, phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs. Have a look at the phrasal verbs here. Book into, check in, check out, make for, see off, set off. Let's start with number 1. If you space a place, you go towards it. It means if you make for a place, you go towards it. Make for. In number 2, if you space, you start a journey. If you set off, you start a journey. When you set off, you start a journey. Number 3, when you space a hotel, you arrange for a room. When you space a hotel, you arrange for a room. Of course, when you book into, and book into means reserve or make the reservation. Number 5, when you pay a bill and leave a hotel, you check out. You check out. Number 5, if you space someone, you go to the airport to say goodbye to them. When you see someone off, you say goodbye to him. See someone off. Number 6, of course, as usual, the last one is the most difficult one. When you arrive and register at a hotel or the airport, you check in. Is it clear? Of course, this exercise here is the same. You are going to choose from the phrasal verbs to complete this task. I leave it for you. You can answer it by yourself. And after answering it, you can check your answer. And as usual, we have all the answers here. For exercise A and exercise B. Okay? And now we come to the end of Unit 11. Thank you and goodbye.